What's going on, everybody? This is the Observant Lineman, and I am your Observant Lineman, Uche Waneri, 7-year NFL vet of the Jacksonville Jaguars, on the smartest, most logical group of players on the field, the offensive line. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. I'm going to make this pretty quick. My video on training camp is coming soon, but I thought I'd make a video right now about a couple of noteworthy news clips in regards to players who are trying to get their foot back in the door, and one player who actually, quite literally, has 2 feet that may see him walk right out of the door in the NFL. But we'll start off first with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick tweeted today that it's been 889 days since he has been with an NFL team. And since that time, he's been keeping up with his workouts, 5 a.m., 5 times a week. He's still ready. And I believe him. I believe the guy is still out there working out, training his butt off, getting ready, just in case he gets that phone call. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe that phone call is going to be coming. And I'll elaborate on that here now. As a player, you see things, you understand the politics of football. When you're in the building, you see how you begin to learn the ropes on how the dynamics of a team work. And one of the things that I've always found particularly hypocritical about the NFL and the message that it tries to get across to players when it comes to the culture of a team is that you promote a team and you promote a culture that you're building towards greatness and you're building towards that Super Bowl success, towards winning a championship. And part of building a franchise to the point of that level of success is building and being active within the community. They say that we're role models. They say that we're guys who little kids look up to, who families look up to. We are the heartbeat of the city. And I believe that. I do believe that as professional athletes, we are role models. But at the same time, we're also just regular humans. And we're just regular people. And there's, outside of what we do on Sundays, there's not that much that separates us at all from somebody who goes and works a 9-to-5 job, somebody who's a doctor, somebody who's a lawyer, any one of those professions. We are just people trying to make our way through life, right? So you put us on this pedestal as role models within the frame of the football team. But when we actually take that pedestal and utilize it in a manner that we feel is important in terms of a message that we would like the community to know about, we would like our city to know about, we'd like the country to know about, it's no longer a role model at that point. You're no longer considered a role model. You're considered a distraction. Because now you've brought attention to the team that falls outside of the regular routine of the football dynamic, of the franchise dynamic. And Colin Kaepernick is a victim of this. Colin Kaepernick decided to take that pedestal that he had as a quarterback in the NFL of the San Francisco 49ers. And he decided to turn that into a pedestal that he would use and for a very worthy cause, in my opinion, to highlight something that he believed was wrong within our society. And regardless of what you believe, regardless of what anyone thinks about the semantics of it, which is really at the end of the day him taking a knee during the national anthem, this guy utilized the exact tools that the franchise provided for him, and the franchise encouraged him to actually to hold and wield, and they completely tore him apart for it. They blacklisted him. They got him out of the league. And that distraction for them is no longer something that should be considered, viable for the NFL brand and the NFL product. And, that's not a fair thing. Obviously, it's business to a degree. They'll say it's business, and I can understand the brand side of it, but still, at the end of the day, you can't tell us that we're role models and then punish us for being role models. If that's the case, then maybe we should not visit hospitals. Maybe we shouldn't donate our money to charities. Maybe we shouldn't take families out and buy Christmas gifts for those who are in need, those who are less fortunate than us. Maybe we shouldn't attach ourselves to that role model myth at all. Maybe we should just keep ourselves and keep to ourselves and operate within our own bubble as most people do in their life. But I'll jump off of my soapbox for the moment and, just my best wishes to Colin Kaepernick. Hey man, I see you, but at the end of the day, we know how this league works, and it's probably not going to end the way that he would hope that it would. But hey, we move on, we move forward. Now, secondly, on our list, Josh Gordon has applied for reinstatement rather into the NFL. Patriots receiver Josh Gordon, who is to be frank, an elite level talent when he's on the field, is trying to get back into the league. Obviously, he's had issues with substance abuse, and I will not be a guy who judges this man at all, because the stresses of life, along with the stresses of being in the position he was in, I can understand how some guys may make bad decisions. None of us are perfect. I've made bad decisions in my life, and I'm sure that I wouldn't want anybody judging me for that. So Roger Goodell says that they're hoping that he has gotten the focus on himself and that he has gotten himself into the right place. Time will tell. We'll see if he has actually turned that corner. Again, my best wishes to Josh Gordon. I hope that, it works out for him. I think he does have a great opportunity to get in this league and make something of his career. I actually witnessed firsthand a player who was in a similar situation as Josh Gordon, who did not end up having things work out his way. And I'm sure most have heard about the story of Justin Blackmon. Justin Blackmon, and I'll put this in perspective with Justin Blackmon and his situation, much like Josh Gordon, it was a substance abuse issue, and in his case, it was more alcohol. Actually, it was completely alcohol. But Justin Blackmon, unbelievable talent. When I was in Dallas with the Cowboys, got to speak with Des Bryant a couple times, me and him chopped it up. And it was crazy. Des told me that people always looked at him as if he was the top wideout at Oklahoma State. But he said, hands down, Justin Blackmon was a better wide receiver than he was. Hands down. And I believe it. I believe it because I witnessed it for 2 years. I watched Justin Blackmon, man-child defenses in practice, man-child defenses in games, come off of a 8-game suspension and have a 200-yard receiving game on his first game back, and then follow it up the next week with another 200-yard receiving game, double covered the entire time in Denver. Justin Blackmon was an elite level talent who, fizzled out because of his issues with substance abuse. And it's unfortunate, it's sad, but that's the truth of it. And I love Justin. He was a good guy, country boy. But those were just demons that he couldn't get past during his time in the NFL. So I'm absolutely hoping that Josh Gordon is able to get past that. I'm hoping that he's able to come back into the NFL and lead a productive career. The guy was on the top of the world when he went out. So let's hope that he can climb back up there. There's nothing better than a good redemption story. So here's hoping that Josh is able to recover from that situation and get back out on the field. Now, lastly, to the player who may very well be skating his way off of the football field, Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is in his first year with the Oakland Raiders. Obviously, we all know who Antonio Brown is, AB. He's on the cover of Madden last year. Go fig, Madden curse. But Antonio Brown went to France and participated in some cryogenic therapy, which is, that's a hyper freezing kind of therapy to try and rehab the muscles, rehab the joints. I know a couple of players that have used that locally out here in Atlanta. But apparently he went in with the wrong footwear. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but it's reported that he went in there with the wrong kind of footwear on, and he contracted extreme frostbite on the bottom of his feet. Now, for those of you who don't know, frostbite is no joke. Frostbite will take you out in a heartbeat. So his feet are now being seen by a specialist, and they're trying to basically gauge at what point he'll be able to return and what point he'll be able to be at full recovery, when he'll gain full recovery. But it's a touchy situation, and I really think that you can't ignore the effects that frostbite might have on him. That's a lot. That has a lot to do with the nerves, has a lot to do with the muscles, and as a wide receiver, his feet are his money. Obviously, in most everything, your feet are essential. So I would hope that he would take his time. I would hope that he wouldn't let anybody to pressure him to come back in early or before he's absolutely ready. And, if you know his personality, then, you wouldn't expect that to happen anyway. But that is what's going on with Antonio Brown. So it kind of seems like it's always something new with AB. I like the guy's confidence. I like his style of play. He plays with a bit of swag and a bit of aggression, that you don't see so much from wideouts. He has that ultimate confidence, and that's something that when you have it as a player, you feel like you can beat anybody. And a lot of times you do beat most people you go against. So, much love to Antonio. Hope that he gets better. Hope that he gets his whole foot situation taken care of, and we'll see him on the field before too long. So that was just a quick update on a couple of the happenings going on in the NFL. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Let's build this observant lineman squad up as big as we can. Appreciate you guys very much, and we'll holler at you.